What's up, guys? It's me, Kasilag, aka CSArts Kindness, here to bring to you today episode 2 of the Voices of CSArts podcast. Before we get this started, quick apology to all the dancers and Miss Dombach. I know I said that you guys would get to be in the next episode, but sadly the recordings were too quiet. Don't worry though, cause you guys are going to get your own episode soon enough. Now this episode is Newsies. I interviewed 4 people, each from different conservatories. Featured in this podcast are Nicole from P&D, Alec Reyes from Instrumental, Leilani Rodriguez from Musical Theater, and Scarlett Arreola from CSArts. This episode was super interesting and fun to record, and it was honestly great, getting to learn these new aspects about Newsies that I wasn't aware about. So, hopefully, you'll really like this. Big thanks to Miss Mechian for letting us record in her room, Jad for being the coolest tech guy ever, and the cast members for letting me interview them. And without further ado, Voices of CSArts presents to you episode 2, Newsies! So, hi guys, I'm Mia Kasilag, CSArts Kindness, and here with me I have some people in Newsies, Alec Reyes in the Pit, Nicole Riggs in P&D, Leilani Rodriguez in Musical Theater, and Scarlett Arreola in CCD. So, just some questions for you guys. First off, how is Newsies for you? Describe your experience.
It's stressful, it's exhausting, you feel like you're gonna die if you do something wrong, but at the same time it's really worth it, and seeing it all come together has just made everything just worth it, and the experience has been amazing.
It's really fun. I'm having such a great time. It's a lot of rehearsal process that goes into this, so it's a lot of nights where we get home at 12 o'clock and don't go to bed till 1 and we have to wake up again, but it really is worth it, like Scarlett said, because we get a great experience out of it.
Yeah, I really agree with what they're saying. It's just so cool to see how it's come together and come so far since we started a few months ago. Especially from the pit, where you can just sit there and watch.
Personally, P&D doesn't really have a whole lot of rehearsal time. We kind of just show up and do what we have to do. It's really stressful because we only have the one tech week to work on the show, whereas everyone else has the 2 months of rehearsal time. And that puts a lot of pressure on us to make sure that we're doing as good as we can for the show to be perfect.
That's pretty cool. So, what's your favorite memory from all of this?
I think just seeing how far everyone's come from the very beginning, when we're all stuttering and stumbling over lines and messing up choreography, jumping into each other, and it's all hectic and crazy, into what we have now, which is a cohesive piece and everyone's doing the thing that they're supposed to be doing.
I think my favorite memory is just being backstage with everyone, bonding. You really form a family with these people, and it's such a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, in the pit you make a lot of good memories, especially with Mr. DeSario as conductor. It's always a great time with just spending time all the way cramped in the pit, and it's just always a great time.
Yeah, you definitely form really close bonds with the crew and the cast too, just during that 1 week of tech, with everyone just stressing out and trying to do the best they can.
Cool. So, I feel like you guys already said this, but what was the hardest part of the whole process, rehearsals, tech week, etc.?
I think rehearsals, personally, because we had to just practice to get it all right first before we could have fun doing it. We had to rehearse a lot.
From the pit, it's been pretty hard in tech week, just because we don't rehearse as much as the cast does and the dancers do, but we still so we're not as used to staying up as late, and it's been really tough on me because I'm also sick, and it's just yeah, you have to stay up until 11 at Glendale Community College, and we're just chilling there in the pit while they do Q to Q. You want to go to sleep, and you can't do your homework in the pit. And it's just oh, this is what's going on.
Yeah, and then you don't get home till 12, and you're doing homework till 3 o'clock. And it's 5 to get to school, and it's great.
Beg your teachers for an extension.
But some teachers don't.
And you're like, oh, great.
Art school perks.
Yeah. There's a quick change from Newsies to Bowery Beauties, and then from Bowery Beauties back to Newsies. And it takes like 6 of us for 4 girls each on each side. There's 2 on each side, and we have to like rush and help put on socks and like hand people's shoes and tuck in skirts and t-shirts.
Like, pull on wig caps and wigs and shoving bobby pins in their scalp. It's great.
Cool. So, I'm assuming that you guys had to like audition for this. Is that true?
Yeah.
So, for the ones that had to audition, what made you want to audition?
Well, I love Newsies. Always have, always will. It's just,
Really?
especially after seeing the Broadway production, it was just amazing. It was so cool how they like based it on an actual event. It wasn't like just let's just make a random play. And I feel like it's so empowering, and especially in like today's world, like the empowerment of this, what a generation can do it's amazing. And with the dancing and singing that goes with everything, it's really cool. So that's why I wanted to audition.
Just like Scarlett, I love Newsies as well. It's such a great storyline. It's so amazing. I think I personally wanted to audition because for the experience, honestly, to do this show has been such a wild ride, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I auditioned for Newsies because really the pit is just a whole different experience than anything else that you can get in the world of music, and especially to play in a pit in high school, it's just really valuable experience for when you're in a professional setting and you're a professional musician looking for gigs. And it's just so much fun to be in the pit with all your friends, and like we get to mess around a bit more than everyone else, and we're just chilling down there playing, jamming out for the first thing while everyone's getting dressed.
Love that.
And it's just like, it's so much fun, and especially since last year I was in Pippin too for the pit, and this year it's a bit different, but it's just always such a great, and like it keeps experience, and it always keeps you on your toes.
I didn't really audition. I just, like, our director sends out cue sheets, and then we get to pick which ones we want to be on. And, like, everyone, I really liked Newsies before, and I really enjoyed watching it on, like, Netflix. So I was I was like, this could be, like, a really amazing opportunity to get to, like, learn new experiences.
Okay, so, what was the audition process like for the ones that had to audition?
Okay, so they gave us some slots. I believe it was like 2 days where we had we had a dance call and a singing call.
Oh.
So during the dance call, there was a lot of us. There was at least 100 of us jam-packed in, I think, Studio G, and we learned a set of choreography that's now carrying the banner. And then they had us, we reviewed it, and it was literally, we were so packed, the mirrors started fogging up.
Oh, it was really sweaty.
It was great. So then they had us go into Studio H while they called in groups of 6 of us to audition. And it was terrifying, it was nerve-wracking, and then after that they had us see if we could tumble, and we did or didn't. After that, we had our singing call, and that was individual. Well, actually, no, it wasn't individual. We went in groups of like 9 or so, and we would sing our song, and then we would go sit down, and everyone else would sing their song. Then we would all leave together, and that was, I think it helped because it kind of calmed the nerves because you were among peers, and it wasn't just you with like people who were going to decide whether or not you got in. So then after that, you got a call back, or you didn't. At callbacks, got real interesting.
Okay.
We did the choreography that we had learned, and then after that they taught us a tap piece. So everything's going normal, the first group's doing something, did the choreography, and then they say, thank you, numbers 3, 4, and 5, you can stay, the rest of you are free to go.
And it's just scary.
And then they walked out of the room, and we went, oh shoot, it's that kind of audition. Because we had, like from Pippin last year, no one was cut, we just went the whole audition process, and then at the end they released the cast list. So it was terrifying. Like, most of us got cut in the tap section. For those of us that did not, we had to sing the harmony to Seize the Day, which was also terrifying because we had to do it one by one. We did that. And then they said, Okay, for those of you who we don't ask to say right now, it doesn't mean you're cut. Yeah. It just means we don't need you for the next section. So a lot of us left, myself included, and the people that stayed, they had them audition for Catherine or Davey or whatever, and Jack, and they had them run some scenes, and then they left, and then the cast came out a week later.
Wow, that's stressful. Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like auditioning?
For the pit, actually, so for the pit, there was a door on Mr. D's office. A sheet of paper, a sign-up sheet on Mr. D's door where you could write your name and then your instrument that you're auditioning for. And actually, I wasn't planning on auditioning, but then no one auditioned for the saxophone part, so I was just like, oh, well, I can do it.
That's cool.
Because like, usually since the kids in instrumental music are extremely busy doing like other stuff, and so not everyone has time to be in the musical, and so sometimes there's parts that aren't covered, and Mr. G just like, oh, do you want to do this? And he offers people. So it's not as nerve-wracking as the musical theater ones, but yeah.
Cool. So I'm just gonna like move on to the more specific questions. Nicole, could you describe the set? Like, what parts did P&D build and stuff like that?
We basically built the entire set.
Whoa, wait, that's so cool. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
We built all of the platforms that turned into the rotating towers. We built the entire roaming tower and the entire center tower, and it was so much work. And okay, I was master carpenter with my friend Elizabeth Dabrowski, and it was just the two of us and Mr. A, our like scenic shop teacher, and we basically did a whole week of just building. Liz and I would take turns who would come each night so that we weren't both there at the same time and not getting enough sleep. Then it was just like 2 weeks before we opened. So then the second week we were all there, and then we asked for help because we didn't have anyone to help. And then while we were building some things, we were painting other things. And then I came in at lunch one day because we were like so behind on painting, and we just painted for the entire lunch block. Yeah.
Wow. What was your favorite like set piece out of all of it?
I really think that the rotating towers are super cool. They add an extra level of like depth to the scenes so that it's not just like the same scene for the entire show. It has like a different variety to each number. It adds like character.
That's so cool. Like, you guys built all of that from almost scratch, and sorry, I'm just like in a state of shock because wow, I could never do that. Like, P&D is the master of what's it called, multitasking. Like,
P&D makes CSArts go round, honestly.
honestly,
P&D is
like
amazing.
P&D deserves more love. Okay, Leilani, so what's your favorite part of your costume and what's your least favorite?
My favorite part is my hat and my suspenders. My least favorite part is my pants and my socks. My pants are too tight and my socks keep falling off. Now yesterday we added a new addition to our socks.
Oh, yay.
We put sock glue.
Butt glue.
What?
Butt glue, which is like we glue our socks to our legs for them to stay on.
Wait, so it doesn't stay on?
Because they slide down.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we put butt glue and we put it on our socks.
And it's great. Pulling it off hurts. So yeah.
I'd imagine. You know, costumes, man. Love that.
That's why I play the saxophone.
Okay, so let's see. Scarlett, you're a dancing newsie, right?
Yes.
What's it like as a dancing newsie?
Ooh, okay. It's wow. Okay. There's a lot of things that are like what's like going through your mind or like just in general.
In general, I guess.
I feel like you have a lot of pressure because you want to do good because you're never going to be perfect. You already know that, but you want to be as close to perfection as possible. And there's so many elements of the show, and there's so many tags, and you're trying to remember what like piece of choreography goes with which tag, and what piece goes with which, and like you're trying to run transitions, and if you get your transition wrong, then the scene is messed up because like the sets aren't right, and you're trying to like also do choreography and also do acting and singing while turning is real fun. And then you want to make sure that you get everything right so that you don't get yelled at, but also just for yourself, because we've been like working on this since I think November, late October.
Wow.
And you want to make sure that everything is clean and not messy and just like show ready. And I feel like just trying to juggle that with also school is hard, but it's been an amazing roller coaster of an experience, but it's definitely been worth it, and it's been really cool.
Okay, so Alec, you already answered one of the questions that I had, so could you go into more detail what it's like in the pit? Like, is the space small, medium, big, etc., etc.?
So the pit for Newsies this year is actually a lot bigger than the one for Pippin last year. The one for Pippin last year, we were literally just in a small space in front of the stage instead of below the stage.
Oh.
So you could see our little heads popping up. Even in the photos, if you look, we're there. You see my face. We're there. But now this year it's a much bigger space and you're not as cramped. But yeah, it's really interesting having Mr. D as your as our conductor, because he tries to bring out the music, like the musicality in the musical, instead of just having us, we're like the background all the time for the singers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really fun going at it from that perspective, and it's hard work. But it's really fun too. And yeah, we have rehearsals most of the time, but even for musicals, it's a lot different of a setting from our regular conservatory, because we have a lot more fun with it. We can mess around a lot more. We can just, we have a lot more space to make mistakes because this isn't our wheelhouse all the time. So it's just fun, yeah.
So, Nicole, do you work backstage?
Yes.
Okay, so what's it like backstage besides the quick changes?
Backstage, it's really stressful. Everyone's running everywhere. People are looking for their Newsy bags, or like their tap shoes, or their jazz shoes. Water, that's a big thing.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, but besides that, I do a few strikes. I take things off stage. I reset for intermission. I bring on a print and press.
Ooh.
Yeah, print and press. I can't remember. Other than that, we kind of just sit backstage and we watch the show. We talk about things that we are going to do to get ready for the next show. We make sure that everything's working properly and ready to go for the show that night. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so probably like one of our last questions, but in general, what is your favorite song/number to see or perform?
Okay, Scarlett, I think we know what. Do you have one?
I have multiple.
I know. Okay.
For different reasons too.
Once and for all is the best thing on this planet, the best song, the most powerful. I love performing it. It's so amazing. It makes me cry when I'm there. It's just so good.
You get to really channel your inner like fury and passion and like just sing your heart out, and you really like. Every time I hear it, like the chill, like you just get chills down your spine. It's so cool, and it's probably the most powerful piece in the show, for sure. For me, on like the more dancing side of things, I think Seize the Day, because it has so many different elements. Like
Infamous.
the first, like the few harmonies that like Davey and Jack sing. That good. That's amazing. And then like it has all these different elements with like the fight choreo and like the dancing and the singing and like the pictures and happiness and unity, and it's so good. And then the set changes, and the pit is amazing. They are so good. Also in World Will Know, that is my one of my third favorite. Yeah, it's kind of a combination of the two, and it's like the first time you see this like fury and this revolution brewing, and like last night the pit saved us because we messed up.
Was
Pit totally saved us. Yeah.
What did the pit do?
Well, we got a little. Let's just say we got off on the timing because we came in way too early. So we were like a lot. Let's just say a lot. We were a lot early, and the poor pit was trying to catch up with us, and then they fixed it, and yeah.
Yeah, that was all
fun.
Mr. D and Graham. You gotta thank them. They're like the backbone of the pit, really, the conductor and the musical director, and they're just having fun with it the whole time. I know for a fact that Once and For All is Mr. D's favorite to conduct.
everyone's favorite, I think, because it's such a great storyline with it. It's like so amazing. It's like just when we're holding up our newspapers at the end, it's just like the most biggest thing in this world. It's so great.
And then you're trying not to drop the newspaper.
Yeah, try not to.
So what's Nicole? What's your favorite number / song to see from backstage?
Backstage, I really enjoy watching the fight scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's people running everywhere. People are climbing up ladders and jumping off platforms and just like flying.
Do a flip.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Okay, so I heard from a little bird that someone said Macbeth in the theater.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Actually, 3 people.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
3 people. Maybe myself was one of them.
Oh my god.
But I undid it.
How did you undo it?
Jacob and Joseph. So you're supposed to run around the theater, and I forgot the rest of the process.
Are you just like turn around?
Yeah,
3 times
I turned around 3
spit?
times and spit.
But where?
On your hand, because that's how business works.
That's the price of doing business. It's the price of saying Macbeth. You have to spit on your hand.
Love that. Okay, so
Yeah, and they cursed the production for a
But
day.
we undid it, and Jacob was sitting under a ladder while he said the word. So that was great.
oh wait,
That's
that is a lot.
yeah, it
worse.
is. But he undid it. That's what he told me.
Okay, so that's actually all the questions that I have. Is there anything you guys want to say?
Come see Newsies.
Not really.
No,
The
it's
tickets
sold
are sold
out.
out.
Never mind.
I'm seeing you guys on Saturday.
Yay.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Once again, I have Alec Reyes instrumental, Nicole Riggs P&D, Scarlett Arreola in CCD, and Leilani Rodriguez in musical theater. And that's it for today, guys.